So club football returned this weekend, and it was a pretty damn exciting weekend unless you're a Manchester United or Liverpool fan who had to endure another Jose Mourinho defensive operation. But now we're back in the swing of things, let's begin a new feature and take a look at 12 facts and figures from across Europe that you might have missed this weekend. We'll start in the Premier League and with a rampant Manchester City who absolutely hammered Mark Hughes' Stoke City, winning 7-2 to open up a gap at the top of the Premier League of 2 points, following rival Man United's earlier 0-0 draw with Liverpool. Guardiola's side have picked up 22 points from their first 8 games of the season and have scored 29 goals in the process, the first team to do so in the Premier League era and the first in the top flight since Everton in 1894, which is quite a long time ago. For some more context, that's the same amount of goals that Man City managed in the entirety of the 2006-07 season under Stuart Pearce. From a team scoring for fun to a team that has struggled, Crystal Palace have finally ended their goal-scoring duck for the season, beating Chelsea 2-1 at Selhurst Park to finally get off the mark and some points on the board. Cesar Azpilicueta's 11th minute own goal ended a run of 640 minutes without a goal for Palace, whose consistency in firing blanks lost Frank de Boer his job. It was the second longest wait for a goal in the history of English League football, with 4th tier side Halifax Town having to wait 730 minutes for a goal back in 1990. Sticking with the theme of scoring goals, we head to Everton, who salvaged a 1-1 draw with Brighton thanks to a Wayne Rooney penalty, who scored against his 36th different Premier League team he's played against. There are only 3 players who have scored against more teams than Rooney: Shearer with 37, Andy Cole with 38, and the leader Frank Lampard with 39. There are only 3 teams that Rooney has played against that he hasn't scored past: Man United, Derby County and Blackpool. With another chance to score against former club Man United coming later in the season, plus a fresh opponent in Huddersfield Town on the horizon, Rooney could be joint second in the rankings by the time the season ends, just 1 team behind Frank Lampard. Our next Premier League nugget comes from Wembley Stadium and Tottenham Hotspur, with Maurizio Pochettino's side picking up their first home win of the season by beating Bournemouth 1-0, with Christian Eriksen scoring the only goal of the game. Victory ensured they didn't make a different piece of history, because if they had, they would have been the first ever team to win their first 4 away games but fail to win any of their first 4 home games. However, Christian Eriksen's goal meant there was no unwanted history, and in fact they became the first team to win a league game at Wembley Stadium since Leyton Orient beat Southend 3-1 back in 1909. And finally from the Premier League we look at Isaac Hayden's goal for Newcastle United against Southampton that put Rafa Benitez's side 1-0 up after 20 minutes. The midfielder's strike was the first time Newcastle have scored an away goal in the Premier League in the first half since November 2015, when Papi Cisse found the net against Crystal Palace some 687 days ago. In that game they lost 5-1, so at least things are improving. Let's head down the divisions now to League 2, and it's not just Man City who are scoring for fun in England this season. Luton Town are also doing the business in League 2, hitting 7 themselves this weekend as they beat Stevenage 7-1 on Saturday. Sitting 3rd in the league behind Exeter and Notts County, Luton Town have scored 24 goals in their 7 home games this season, so you can't say the fans aren't getting value for money. Let's head out into the continent now, into Germany, where Borussia Dortmund lost at home for the first time in 41 games, losing 3-2 to RB Leipzig. Dortmund welcomed the most hated team in Germany to the Westfalenstadion, with the yellow wall presenting a banner that read, "The Wall of Shame welcomes the shame of the league." Well, it was the shame of the league who came out on top, winning 3-2, meaning Dortmund's lead at the top has been cut to 2 points, with Bayern Munich sitting behind them in 2nd and Leipzig in 3rd, 3 points adrift of top spot. Another team who lost a 41 game unbeaten home record was Juventus, who were beaten 2-1 by Lazio despite taking the lead in the first half. A brace from Immobile gave Lazio a victory, but it was a last-second penalty save from Thomas Strakosha that really secured the points, saving Paulo Dybala's strike from 12 yards after the referee pointed to the spot following a TV review. Staying in Italy with the Milan Derby, which saw Inter beat AC 3-2, and we've got a hat-trick of Mauro Icardi stats for you. The Inter captain netted a hat-trick for his side, meaning he scored 9 goals in 8 games so far this season, and his overall Serie A record for the club is 80 goals and 20 assists in 133 games, averaging goal every 150 minutes. On top of that, Icardi is the first player to score a hat-trick in a Milan derby since fellow countryman Diego Milito did back in 2012. And finally we go to Spain to take a look at what has to be considered the game of the weekend, Real Betis vs Valencia, where the latter won 6-3. Valencia had gone 4-0 up, but 3 goals in 5 minutes for Betis nearly made it one of the most incredible comebacks the game has ever seen. Late strikes from Simone Zaza and Andreas Pereira meant it wasn't to be though, with Valencia having scored 3 or more goals in their past 4 La Liga games, where they sit second behind Barcelona. So those are 12 stats from the weekend's football that you might have missed. Let us know of any more in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.